me first of all go to the presentation. This course is starting now on September 26 and will conclude in November. We'll explain the timetable in a moment. The course objectives are twofold. First of all, to provide more advanced PFM knowledge. You've already studied an introduction to PFM, so you know the basics, and you've also got an understanding of double entry bookkeeping. This will take you to a higher level of PFM knowledge, and we will also relate that to PFM in Somaliland practices and the current reforms. The course content is summarized by the 6 workbooks. Workbook 1 will be on budget preparation, and this will also include areas such as medium-term expenditure frameworks. Workbook 2 will be on budget execution. Workbook 3 will be on accounting. Workbook 4 on reporting. Workbook 5 will be on audit and control. And finally, in Workbook 6, we will consider PFM in Somaliland. Although you will find that as we go through the other workbooks, your course tutors will link those to your practices in Somaliland. Our objective is not, however, to make any judgment on the present or proposed systems in Somaliland. It is to provide you with the knowledge and expertise so that you can make those judgments for yourself. And the full syllabus is in the introductory manual to this course, and I will explain in a moment how you can obtain that manual. The timetable for this course, as we say, it begins today, September 26, when you'll begin your activity on Workbook 1. You will then study one workbook each week through to October 31. So you will have 6 weeks to study the 6 workbooks. That will be demanding. There is a lot of material in these workbooks. On November 7, you will have 2 weeks for revision, and then the actual examination will be in the period between November 21 and 28. We will announce the exact date later on. So that's your course timetable. The learning materials. Clearly, the most important part is your attendance at the University of Hargeisa lectures and tutorials. This is where all of the information can be explained to you. You can ask questions and clarify issues. You will also have a workbook. For this program, there is a separate workbook for each element of the course. So there are a total of 6 separate workbooks. They are all on the Learning Management System, the LMS. Also on the LMS is a self-assessment test for each workbook. I'll explain those in a moment. And there will be the webinars starting next week, which will be recorded and available as video recordings, both on YouTube, and we will put them on the LMS. And finally, there is the Facebook discussion group, which you can use to ask questions or to have discussions amongst yourselves. And I would encourage everyone to post relevant material, to that Facebook discussion group and to ask questions on it. Don't be afraid to ask questions. We will try to answer all of them. The Learning Management System, which became active at the end of the introductory course, is the basic source of information. You must be able to access the Learning Management System. If you've lost your logon, then this explains how you can get it back. You go to somalilandpfm.com, and the on-screen instructions will then tell you how to recover your password. These will be sent to the email address which was used when you registered for the course. If you have changed your email address, then you will need to get in touch with our administrative team, and I'll go back and show you their email address again in a minute. You'll need to go back and get in touch with them and ask them to alter the email address that is recorded in the system. So you must have and be using your current email as the one with which you were registered for the course. And you can access the Learning Management System, the LMS, either from a computer, any computer with an internet connection, or from a tablet computer. But if you use a tablet computer, you must download an app. Now, if you look on your app shop for whatever operating system you're using, Apple, Windows, or Android, if you search under the name Moodle, you will find a free app. Moodle is the open source software that is being used for the LMS. And one of the advantages of this is it means you can access it from a tablet. You can access it from a smartphone, but you'll find the screen size is very small and it'll be difficult to read. But a tablet computer works well. Now then, I'm going to explain a little bit about using the LMS. I'm assuming you've now logged in and you will get your opening home page. On this page there are two important things. First thing is you will see that there is a student course manual. If you click on that, it will take you to a download of the manual. You do need that manual because it explains how the course and the LMS works. So that's your basic source of information. Once you've got that and you've downloaded it, and you can either print it or keep it as a file on your computer, you then go to PFM for Somaliland course, which is this one, and you will then go to the page. I haven't shown you the full page because you won't be able to read it, but you will be able to get a page heading My Courses PFMS. Now, at the top of this page, you will see, before you get to any of the workbooks, there are three things. First of all, there are announcements, and we will put various announcements there. Secondly, there is the PFM for Somaliland introductory manual. This is the introduction manual specifically for this course, and it repeats much of what I'm telling you today. Now, you can read it online by clicking the red icon, or you can download it if you go to the file icon. Most of you will probably want to download and print that. Also on the LMS, there is then a section for each workbook. And under each section, you will see a number of links. So if we look at course 1, you'll see the PFM for Somaliland workbook. If you click that, it will be available online, so you can read it online. If you want to download it or to print it, then you need to go to the blue symbol with the file picture, so you can download the workbook. There may be other material we put there later on as well. You can download the workbook and again read it offline or print it out if you want to. You will also find under each workbook is an assessment test. The assessment test comprises 60 questions on the subject matter of that particular workbook. You can take this test online, so you can take it from within the LMS by following this procedure. Don't be nervous about doing it. It doesn't matter if you make a mess of it the first time. You can repeat the test again and again as many times as you like. The self-assessment test contains 60 questions. They're in the style of the examination you'll set at the end. So if you can get a good result on those 60 questions, preferably all 60 correct, then you know that you've understood the material from that workbook thoroughly. As I said, you can retake the self-assessment test as many times as you like. It does not count towards your final result, but you will find, and I'll show you later on, but not today, a grade book in which the latest result is recorded. But that's just for your benefit. As I say, it does not count towards your final result. Also, we will be holding a webinar every Tuesday at 13:30 Somaliland time. I would encourage as many of you as possible to attend this webinar. If you've got questions, you can ask them in advance by posting them on the Facebook page, or you can ask them during the webinar by typing in the chat box, which you can see on the bottom right of the page. Any of you can enter into that, and you can type a message just as you would in one of your social media, Facebook for example. In the little box at the bottom you can type a message, which I will then be able to see and will try to answer. We will also record the webinars. They'll be placed on the YouTube channel Michael Parry Consulting, and they will also be uploaded onto the LMS under each workbook section. Obviously there aren't any there at the moment because we haven't had any on this particular course, but as we do them they will be uploaded and available there. You will find that they are very large to download onto your own computer, so you will almost have to watch them online. And just to remind you, the next webinar on Workbook 1 will be held on Tuesday, October 3rd. Now that provides a brief overview of the course. I'm going to pause here and ask if anybody has got any questions. I'll say if you have, please type them in the box bottom right. While you're doing that, let me just go back to the opening screen. If you want to watch these webinars, you can do so on a computer. Say if you want to watch them on a computer, you've got to install both the Adobe Connect add-in, and the address for that is there, and you will also need Flash Player. Flash is also a free download from Adobe. And you may find it useful. You can watch the webinars on a tablet computer or a smartphone. If you've got it right now, you need to download the free Adobe Connect app, which again will be in your app shop. Okay, that's a very brief introduction, but the main things I think you need about this course. I hope you all get benefit from it and find that it contributes towards your understanding of the program. If you have any other questions, you could ask us at the admin address, which is on the screen now. If you email somaliland.pfmet@wyg.com, the address that's on the screen, then we will try to answer your questions or deal with any problems. Thank you very much.